Justin, welcome to Floor Talk. It's great to have you on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
My pleasure. So, Justin, Bolt has been in the checkout space for over a decade. So tell me, what inspired you to revolutionize online shopping?
The whole idea of checkout as a unified product and identity being connected to folks and their ability to pay online was not standard. It's not something that unless you or I went on Amazon or some very large site, we didn't experience it. So what we wanted to do at Bolt a decade ago is bring that unified experience between payments and identity to the masses, to essentially democratize the experience. And what's happened over that period of time is we've seen that some of the largest merchants in the United States that use our technology, and well over 80 million consumers in the United States, are now able to connect with each other in a very organic and empathetic way and develop deep, deep relationships in a way that previously you really needed to go to, like I said, an Amazon to try to essentially get. So that democratization of commerce online was very exciting to me and was what drove me personally to Bolt, and I think was, core to our genesis a decade ago.
Now, you partner with major brands like Revolve and Kendra Scott. Why are these brands choosing Bolt for their checkout solutions?
We like to have relationships with brands that allow those brands to put their brand in front of the consumer. So when you go to, for instance, Revolve, which is one of the few big merchants that we actually talk about publicly, Revolve is the relationship that a consumer has. It's not Bolt getting in the middle. You're not being redirected to some other experience. So more and more brands, as they see that they can connect directly with their consumer and all of the spend and buy power that consumer has, while still maintaining the direct B2C consumer to brand relationship. It's a massive differentiator for us. And I think it's what drives so many enterprise merchants to settle on Bolt at the end of the day.
Now, Justin, Bolt has built a network of over 80 million shoppers. So how does this enhance the checkout experience?
How it enhances the checkout experience is by being sort of unnoticeable, sort of magical. So when a consumer, 80 million shoppers is a very large percentage of the American active shoppers online. When they go to one of our merchant sites and they enter in their email address, all of their information is sort of seamlessly populated into that merchant's checkout experience. And what that means is that their most up-to-date addresses, payment information has all been securely passed to that merchant in a way that makes it directly accessible to that shopper. And they can go through the buying experience really seamlessly and with a much higher chance of the transaction successfully completing. And what we get the most excited about is how many people have had Bolt accounts and have used them for long periods of time and don't really know it because, again, we're sitting behind that merchant's brand and allowing the merchant to be the one that sort of shines in that relationship.
Now, there's a new mobile app that's launching this year. So tell me, what can users expect?
We've, for a long time, wanted to launch a mobile app. It's been part of our vision for as long as I've been at Bolt, at least. And what we saw is that as the checkout flow becomes more complicated and as different payment options in market become more numerous, we see crypto emerging in, we see bank payments, obviously credit, debit cards, buy now, pay later. Consumers have this massive amount of spend power, buy power, borrowing power at their disposal, except it's all sort of stratified in different accounts located all throughout the internet. What the idea of the mobile app has been essentially that we want to pull all of that spend and buy power, all of your BNPL capability, all of your crypto capability, stored value, under one identity in a spot where a consumer can, in a very human and organic way, understand what's available to them so that then when they go to make purchases, they're really empowered to know the differences between maybe I should use a BNPL at this point. Maybe I want to start dabbling in a bank payment concept and try something new. Put it all under essentially one house in a way where the consumer at the end of the day has total agency. So our role as a consumer, we get to choose and understand all of that spend power. We understand how we can use it. And then I think part of the magic happens is that, all of our large merchants, when consumers show up to shop on those sites, they'll be even super powered with deep, rich wallets of all different types of payment information. It's really exciting, and it's actually launching maybe as early as next week, it looks like.
Now, Justin, we know that trust and privacy are crucial today. So how does Bolt's double opt-in network help shoppers feel secure?
Consumers are actually willing to spend a lot of money and share a lot of information with merchants when there's this essentially double opt-in. So what that means is that a consumer is making an active choice whenever they add information into the Bolt network, which obviously a lot of folks have chosen to do that. But likewise, and I think even more importantly, when you go to any merchant that uses Bolt and you type in your email address or we recognize your phone number, before we even tell the merchant anything about you, we ask your permission by sending you like a password request to your phone or some other passkey method so that you get to share what you decide, like, oh, I'm on this major merchant's website. I'm on the Macy's website. I want to share information with Macy's. And what we find is that there's, all this effort in retail to try to track and identify and, figure out who people are. But if you ask consumers in a very easy, simple, transparent way, would you like to share your information with this shop that you're in right now? They will share a lot of information very openly, which sort of makes sense. I think if we look in the real world, how we would probably operate is I share a lot of information with people that I know, people that I trust, people that I, am having a conversation with, and I'm very comfortable with that. But I wouldn't be comfortable just posting a bunch of information about myself, on the wall behind me just for someone else to find and look at it at any time.
All right. Well, Justin, it's been wonderful to talk with you.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining me on Floor Talk today.
I really appreciate you having me here. This has been a blast. Thank you.